There's nothing quite like the joy of creating, and today we are thrilled to continue the coop build and crafting more memories along the way. From the first screw to the final coat of paint, every step is a celebration of progress and a nod to the anticipation of what is to come.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side, our fears are done.
Okay, last side. Nate's ready for me. Okay, this one's gonna be tricky again because we have to cut out for those ridges. So we got that other piece on. We do need to cut out the space for the window. And then our next piece is gonna be where the door is, and we wanna be extra careful when we're cutting out the door because the piece of where the door we're cutting out is we're gonna actually use for the door. So we wanna make sure it's a good piece.
As we were about to do our door, something came up and we had to halt the work for the day and continue on building a few days later.
So it's a super cold Saturday morning. It's not snowing, but we've got ourselves and all the kids bundled in their snow clothes so we can spend more time out here working on the coop. Hopefully get the siding done and go from there. But those beautifully warm days are gone, and so we're about 20 degrees colder than we've been all week. So we're just getting used to that cold air and bundling up.
I'm a huge advocate for getting myself and our kids and our whole family outside every day if possible. And that's kind of no matter what the weather is. It is a little harder if there's days where it's just rainy and cold all day, but we actually very rarely have those days. It's usually snowing and cold. And if it's snowing, the kids have a lot more fun with the snow. So on this day, it was, I think our high was in the mid 30s. And so, like I said, we just bundled up, headed outside, and we just wanted to meet our goal of finishing this front face. And that's all we were hoping to do.
So we felt like the best way to cut out the door was to like line it all up and then have me go in and trace where the door would be. Oh, sawdust in my eye. And then we'll go ahead and just use our Skilzall to cut it out.
I recently signed up to be able to receive a incubation kit with eggs that have been fertilized from Utah State Extension here in Utah, where they will send you eggs that are about to hatch within a few days, and then you get to watch the hatching process. And usually they send them to schools, but since we homeschool, I was able to still apply and see if we could get one for our family. So I thought that would be the perfect start to our journey of having chickens. Having chickens is great. I'm so excited for that. But I'm also excited to introduce my children to just a new life cycle of an animal. So I'm thinking we'll probably do some type of embryology learning for elementary aged children if we get to get these chickens hatched. And you have to keep the chickens or find homes for the chickens. And I think they're just like a generic farm breed chicken, and they're probably going to be all roosters. So we'll see what we end up doing with them. But if we do get that opportunity, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But I was thinking about that and telling the kids about that today, and they got super excited.
That's better. We did do the front window a little higher than the other ones just because we felt like the face of the shed was taller, so we raised that side up, that window up. The next step is the purlins, which I just learned that is what the word you use is along the top going the other direction. But it's looking really good. So I have the task today of watering our berry patch, our orchard, and some of our garden. So just because things are dormant doesn't mean that they don't have to be watered. Things like berries and trees and the garlic we have in our garden need to be watered. They are gonna come back in the spring, so they still need water. So we haven't had snow in a couple weeks, and the forecast doesn't show snow for 10 more days and another warm week. So yay for the warm week, but I do think we need to water these. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started watering our berry patch first because I'm not quite ready to turn the water on in our orchard. There's a couple things I need to zip tie off before watering there. I can turn the water on to these still because all of these tubes are still hooked up to our frost-free pipe lines. And I have just left up all of our drip hoses, and we're gonna let those just stay there all winter and see how they fare and decide if that's something we should keep doing in years to come. Because that'd be really nice if I could just leave them there. But if it ends up breaking them down too fast, then we might pull them in for winter time in hand water, which it might be worth just letting them get demolished over the winter because there's a lot to hand water. So let's get started. So Rowan over there found a pipe it's just open, and so it's spraying out water. So I'm gonna get a zip tie to close it off. I'll be right back, buddy. I found one zip tie. I'm gonna need more of these, so pretty sure we have more somewhere else, but I'm gonna have to find them.
Stop the water. I just bend it.
Yeah, I'm gonna bend it closed.
See if I undo it.
So yeah, it's just spraying out, so this soaker thing isn't. In that, then it just drips out here. And I like to just stick that in there. River's wondering what's going on over here. Does everywhere else look good? And check the rest of the rows.
Yes. Come on, River.
All right, here's the state of the orchard. I will be pruning these trees next month probably, and weeding and prepping to maybe plant something in here along with this. But I have in between each tree this spot right here where I had planted some squash, and so it was getting watered here, and I might do that again next year, next spring. So instead of just eliminating this line, I might just kink it, and then if I do plant something here, I can still have access to that. So there's one of those in between every one of our trees, I think. So some of our trees look really good and some of them don't, because like I said, we didn't have the orchard totally closed off to the deer, and they are just going crazy with these trees, the poor things. Like, you can see this one, they just nipped off the edge of every single one of these. So this tree's branches are somewhat sad. There's even worse ones over there. But so we're gonna have to do a better job at protecting our orchard.
I think we have 5 spots where we can add more fruit trees. So 5 more fruit trees we can still add to our orchard. When we first bought our fruit trees last fall, we were still in our rental, and I wasn't quite sure how many trees we could fit in this space we'd planned out for our orchard. So we just bought a few. They were all on sale, and we kept them alive in pots over the winter and then planted them once we got here.
There is a section of our drip tubing that I want to clean up that's over here by our chicken coop. And so I think I do need to get scissors, just because plans changed for our orchard a little bit, and so I might need to cut some of the tubes and have them run a little bit differently.
So when I originally had set up the drip system for our orchard, I had all the tubes on the ground, and someone asked me, why aren't you burying these? Like, you can see the tubes. And this is why. We have to make changes frequently, and so if these were all underground, this would have been a nightmare.
So we have that line that comes down and feeds to those trees, and I just continue that because I had a line going out from here over, because I was going to plant another row of trees here, but we decided we wanted more space for our coop and potentially more hutches and etc. So we went one short row of the trees. So that means I need to extend like this pipe from here to go over to that one. So I might have to finagle that around a little bit.
Some of you might be wondering, why is she wearing her slippers outside doing projects and yard work, garden work? Well, the thing is I like a comfy shoe that I can just slip on. So I bought these shoes as my like outside project wear slippers. I have my inside slippers, which honestly I still sometimes wear them outside, but I was trying to get out of the habit of wearing those slippers outside. So I bought myself a nice slip-on pair that were a little more durable that I could wear outside and get them dusty, get them dirty, but still have the comfort of a slipper. So these are, I think, I don't know how to say it, mini Tonka shoes. They have really good soles, they're really durable, and they have been perfect for that job.
Okay, got all that cut up, and it was actually easier than I thought. I could use some of the same pieces, and it looks a lot better. And if I still want to plant something all along this back line, I still can. So I just came over to check on the berry patch, and it looks like it's watered enough, so I'm going to turn that one off so that I can turn on the orchard. I just got that all cleaned up. It looks so much better. I usually just have one running on at a time so that there's enough pressure to reach all the way back. So turned it on, moment of truth. We'll see if all of what I just did actually worked.
Just checking to see. Help me look and see. Is that tree getting water? Yeah. Let's see. Is this one?
Okay, I just turned the water off on the trees. They got about an hour of soaking. Turned the water on in the garden, and while we're waiting, I got my boys out here. We're gonna try to figure out how to install the nesting box. So the nesting box and the windows can be installed around this point. We still have to do the purlins and then the roof, but the windows and the nesting box need to be installed before we add any trim. So we decided to come out here on this beautiful day and see if we can figure this out. I don't have high hopes that I'll be able to do this. I don't think it's super complicated. It's just a matter of, it's kind of heavy. I like lifted it clear out here, and it was really hard for me to lift just by myself. So maybe we can figure it out, but we'll see. And then it hooks in, or you might want to stick it in like that, I don't know. Or on the inside. We'll have to figure that out. So the attachment piece here, we hook on the Coop, drill it on, and then it hangs like here, I think, to hold it up. And there's just two of those. Let's leave that part over here. Okay. Okay, so I just slid it in to check if our hole, Rowan's holding it for me, is big enough, and it's really close. So I'm gonna try to wriggle it in a little more to help us know where to put the hanging thingies. They might go on the outside.
It's actually pretty tall.
Is it pretty tall? But you can still grab an egg out of there, right?
Yeah. It's easy. It's like as tall as my face.
Juniper might have to tippy toe a little bit. Attach this. And just drill that in, I guess, and it won't move. Yeah, I think that'll hold it on really well, actually. With how snug. Let's see, pull this piece out more. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. So we do have a little bit of extra space on this side here, and on a little bit on this side, but we are gonna put trim here. And if we feel like it's a problem for the cold, we can insulate it. Put like foam in there, I guess. But it's not going anywhere, so that's great. So now we just need to add the bottom. Okay, so do you think you can loosen it? You're gonna twist it to the left, that way. Okay, we got it all on. It looks so good. So that's how it looks from the outside. You have the two locks here. You unlock it to get your eggs, which you don't have to have these. They are kind of annoying. They're really tight. Get your eggs that have rolled down. And then on the inside, I'll show you, it looks like this. So you put this up at night so they don't sleep in here if you come out every night to check on it. Or you can just leave it down, but it's like a little bar that helps them to go in. Apparently red attracts them, so this will help them want to go in here to lay. I said about 2.5 feet off the ground. I think we're pretty close to that.
After we got the nesting box all in, everyone had to come over and take turns at pretending to gather eggs. They'd brought over their little egg baskets, opened up the nesting box, gathered the eggs, and ran off. And it was so cute to see them. It'll be super fun when they actually get to collect real eggs in the future.
Okay.
Is that the windows? Those windows.
Okay, so we have our window.
Okay, I'll just set the screw.
Will it still fit with the siding though? I don't know. It's not fitting anymore. Oh. The siding isn't perfectly shaved down on this window. So let me test some of the other windows. Does it fit on this one? Oh shoot. We've got to trim down the siding on this one too. Yeah, ooh, we don't want to break anything. Oh, that one actually. I don't want to break the window. That one doesn't fit either. Great. Maybe it won't be time for windows. Let's try the other one. Might be time for trimming down the siding, because I tested this before to see if these would fit before the siding, and they did. This one fits, so we can go ahead and do this one if we want.
Look at the driller things.
So Rowan, come over and push that up like that. Let me step back and make sure that looks even. Yeah.
This one looks like big.
All right, our first window. It looks really good. So now we can go test it to see if it opens. Go inside. There's the window. The hens will have a wonderful view. They'll have a nice view of the mountains. So let's see if it worked. I think I tested it to open and it worked. So on really hot days, basically all summer, I think you just slide this in. Ah, here we go. And yeah, the breeze comes through. And it looks great. So I think it was a little...
Trying to put all the screws in. This screw back.
See if it'll get off this plasticky stuff. Okay, moment of truth. There we go. Hand me those. Can you hand me one? I've got to get the first one in, and then it'll be a little easier. I just don't want it to fall out. Trim the last one. Okay.
A lot of the chicken coop project has been my husband and I being a team and doing things together. A lot of things that I can't do just by myself. And I was getting really antsy at wanting to make some progress on the coop while he was at work. And so doing the windows and getting the nesting box in felt really good, and the weather was amazing, so felt perfect, like the perfect thing to do while he was working.
Are you popping it? Pop it. And what's more exciting than getting the windows done? Popping the pops.